The first thing you need to know about this piece of machinery is that it's not comfortable, and it never will be. However, there are some things that you can do to make it slightly more bearable. This grey pad that we put over the corner helps with taking a little bit of pressure off the sharp edge of the corner. There is padding underneath there, but it's just not quite enough, basically. So we put this little grey sponge around the corner to make it a bit more tolerable. The other thing is making sure that the angle of the piece of machinery is correct. You can adjust the height of it like this, by pulling the pins out and then adjusting it into whichever angle you want. But a closer up view of that mechanism is just here. So that pulls out and then slides into the different heighted holes. This one up at the top will make it ever so slightly inverted, which means this top side will be higher than this bottom side. And then obviously at the bottom here, which is when I'm demonstrating this version, it will be tilted in this direction. More of an angle this way, the less aggressive or less uncomfortable it's going to be on your hip. However, if you are a particularly long in the leg individual, then this is going to be too low for you. When performing this at this lowest level, your feet, basically it lowers this down closer to the floor. So my feet are getting pretty close to the floor at this point. As it goes higher up into the normal position, you can see that my feet are just a little bit higher. So once you have done those things and you've adjusted it to be the right length for you, you've adjusted it so that it is as comfortable as it's going to be. The other thing to consider is how far away these are from you. You basically want to be able to reach those with slightly bent arms, because every time you kick your legs under, this effectively slides you down the bench a little bit. So when you hold on here, you pull yourself back up at a certain point in the rep. And I'll just show you now. So when you are in the kick through phase here, it's trying to slowly pull you underneath the bench. So when it comes up and you kick back, you arch your back, you let your chest come off the pad, and you use your arms just to pull a little bit, just to kind of reset you so you're a little bit higher again. And then you repeat that process, it'll pull you under, and then you pull yourself up, pull you under, and then it'll pull yourself up. So it's this subtle kind of rocking motion from the hips. This is as high as you want to get. You don't need to aim to get any higher than this. If anything, this is a fraction too high. So you want this kind of straight-ish sort of line through the spine. You're not trying to overextend the spine. You're just trying to get it into a neutral position. However, when you get to the bottom, you are trying to on purposely round the back. That's why we have this tucked situation when we are kicking under. So we tuck our spine, lead with the knees, and then kick back with the heels. They're the two kind of cues that we typically use with people. It actually feels a little bit more comfortable with a tiny bit of weight on. So I would suggest putting maybe a 5 kilo or a 2.5 kilo on either side rather than doing it empty, because otherwise these extra hinge joints just tend to move around a little bit when there's no weight on whatsoever. So I'll adjust the height and show you the difference when we're down here. What that basically does, it means that your heels don't have to come as high in the air to get the same range of motion for your spine. Another important point to consider is just making sure that you wear shoes, because if you don't have any kind of a heel and you're just wearing socks, your heel can slip out of this pad here. And just remember, it's not comfortable for anyone, but it is a fantastic exercise and a fantastic piece of machinery for your lower back.